Welcome to the Craig Mostyn Group 15-minute learning. IT training designed for the Craig Mostyn Group by TIOMS. This session is the third in our time and stress management. Please ensure before you start this course that you have completed the sessions 1 and 2. And also download the associated document for this session. It has areas in it where you can work through yourself, make notes, and expands on some of the things that we talk about during this session. Generally, throughout the course, we have summarized the activities to help you manage your time and your stress. The original course for these 3 sections ran over 3 half days. So you can imagine this has been condensed somewhat, and having the associated document can really help. So now it's time to get you to feel in control. Often people that are in control look like they have nothing to do. And this is because they work in a structured manner without a cluttered desk, no piles of paper, etc. And they allow themselves time to think. Often people in the office may walk past somebody who works like this and say, haven't you got anything to do? Because it looks like there's no work being done. These are the people that have got it right. So now let's look at some of the indicators for our stress. The first one we're looking at here is behaviour. So the recognition of some of these behaviours indicating stress in ourselves will help us see the stress coming, potentially building up. And if we do some of the structured things that we saw in the first and second session, it really will help to remove some of that stress from your life. So have a look at the table here with things that are examples of behavioural stress, and see if you can identify some of them with yourself. And when you see them coming at you, think of how you can take action to control them. And here are some of the emotion indicators that will indicate to you when stress is on its way. Some of them are very familiar, and they're definite techniques that we've learned in the other sessions that will help avoiding these. And a really good example of this is feeling overwhelmed. So if you're overwhelmed, you've got so much work to do, you don't know where to start. Use the time management, the planning techniques, and the large items before the tiny items, etc., etc. And you will find that the feeling of being overwhelmed will pass and the stress will disappear. Now we're looking at the physical indicators of stress. A very familiar one of these is if you're going for an interview for a job, or you're talking in public, doing a presentation to the team, you get a very dry mouth. This is the indication of your nerves, the stress of the situation. But using the techniques that we saw in sessions 1 and 2 will remove the stress because you've planned for this particular event properly. You know exactly what you're going to do. You will still feel a bit nervous about it, but you won't get to a position where you can't perform in the way you would like to. So learning your indicators is a key skill, but also if you have staff, learning their indicators can be extremely useful. If you see that your staff are getting stressed or obviously feeling stressed, then doing something about that can pay real dividends. And here is an extremely good example of how to concentrate. Concentration and self-management. So here the rifle shooter has got an extremely regulated routine to enable him to bring down his heart rate. He gets his breathing right, he gets into position, he can concentrate on the target, and then in his mind the only thing in the world left to him is his rifle and his target. This is a combination of techniques, and we'll look at some of the breathing techniques and relaxation techniques that he uses in a minute. But in a sporting situation, some of these guys can go from a high heart rate, running at fast pace across country, to being able to lay down and within 6 or 7 seconds have completely relaxed, brought their heart rate down and enabled them to take the shot. Extremely positive way of getting your concentration right. And so the first and probably the most powerful technique that we use in this series is simply getting your breathing right. Now you bring down your heart rate, you can lower your blood pressure, you can change your life by just learning this simple technique. In martial arts, they do this by standing up with their legs apart at about shoulder level and bending their knees into what they call horse riding stance. And then close your eyes, breathe in through your nose, you're breathing from your belly, right, deep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Very simple, but could change your life if you get to do it regularly. So try it when you're sat at work, doesn't stop you doing your work. Try it on the bus, in the car, watching TV, and you'll find that the more you do it, the easier it comes, and it just becomes a way of your life. And here, using the word breath as a reminder, we can go through the letters that make up the word. So the first one is breathe, deep, slow and easy, like we just saw. The second one, rehearse. So recall and rehearse. So the things that you know you get right, rehearse them so that you get them right each time. Recall what you did well, recall what you did badly, ensure you repeat what you did well, and fix what you did badly. Understand your emotions and understand whether you're going to be positive or negative. And if you're going to be negative, do something about that to turn it into a positive. Acknowledge your emotions, understand them, and act on them when you see them coming. Think how accurate or useful information is. Think less. Get rid of all the stuff that gets in the way and just think about the important things. Humour is extremely important. Having a good laugh, enjoying our friends, extremely useful for that stress response. Get rid of your stress, just have a good laugh. And finally here, eat well. So eating well, eating to give you the right type of energy and exercising to give you the right type of energy will reduce stress. And now we're going to go through a relaxation exercise. Now, the important thing to be aware of with this exercise is, although it seems quite long-winded and there's all these little bits that you go through every time to get to the point of relaxation that we want you to be in, although that appears to be quite long-winded, after you've practiced this a few times, you'll find that you can do it extremely quickly. And then you may find that you don't even consciously have to think about all the stages. And you can go from a wide awake, possibly stressed and anxious point of view to almost complete relaxation and meditation, to a point where you are basically aware of what's going on around you, but you're almost somewhere else. So to start this off, the first time you try it, it's good to be in a darkened room and sit up, be in a good, strong posture. Sit up, upright, feet nicely firm on the ground, hands on your knees, with your eyes closed, and start to ignore outside influences. Choose what you're going to hear. So if there's some nice bird song in the background, you might choose to leave that in your mind. But if there's loud noise from drilling or a baby crying or something, try to block that out of your mind. And then start the breathing technique that we saw earlier, breathing from the belly, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then starting to think about your toes, just let your toes relax. Just say to your toes, just relax. And you'll feel that they start to become quite heavy. And then they may start to tingle. And then in your own time, start moving up through your body. Think of your feet. Let them relax. Let them start to become heavy and tingle. Then up through the lower legs and shins, let them relax. Let them become heavy, and then they start to tingle. Up to your upper legs, let them relax. Let them become heavy and start to tingle. Then your backside, let it relax into the chair, become heavy, almost like you can no longer move out of the chair. And the whole bottom side of your body is now heavy and a bit tingly. Let your belly relax. Let that become heavy and tingle. Remember to keep that breathing, deep breathing from right down in your belly, in through the nose and out through your mouth. Let your hands relax. Let them sink into your knees. Let them become heavy and start to tingle. Followed by your arms. They're now relaxing. They're becoming heavy and starting to tingle. And your shoulders relax, become heavy and start to tingle. Your chest is relaxed, it's becoming heavy and starting to tingle. And that tight, stressful area around your neck, just let that relax. Let that become heavy and tingle. And your face is where all the stress shows. Just let your face drop. Let it relax. and become heavy and tingle. And your eyes and your eyelids become heavy and tingle. And then the top of your head, let that relax, become really heavy and tingle. And remember to keep that breathing going from the belly. Breathe deep from the belly, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Continue to do this until your relaxation, your calmness can take you off to a favourite place. So now you might be sitting on a tropical beach with your toes in the sand, or reading a book in bed on a winter's night, or sitting in a warm, relaxing bath. Whatever you want it to be, just let that relaxation take you somewhere else. Now, this technique is extremely useful in fighting off stress when you see the signs coming on. As I said before, this takes practice, but after a while, instead of it taking you maybe 5 minutes to get to a level of relaxation, you can do it in 1 or 2 seconds. For plane travel, you can get on the plane and sit down and in your mind go somewhere else for hours on end, but still wake up when they come round to offer you a drink. It's a fantastic thing to do going home from work, on the bus or the train or a car if somebody else is driving. Now, if you get tired when you're driving and your eyes start to go and you think, oh, I really need to stop and get refreshed, you can pull over somewhere quiet, hopefully, and perform this exercise, and within 5 minutes you can be totally refreshed and be able to go on and drive for more hours. Relaxation technique, an important tool in your fight against stress. And finally, if there's only one thing that you take away from these courses, is do something about it. If something is causing you stress, keeping you awake at night, making you fed up, do something about it. Because the opposite, doing nothing about it, will never change anything. Well, that's the end of session 3 of the time and stress management sessions. Now please take a couple of minutes to complete the questionnaire. Thank you.